We have recently noticed that the EPFO has implemented many significant changes to benefit its users. If you are a salaried employee who has an EPF account, then this video is specifically for you. Hello everyone, I am Saloni from Team Webtel. In this video, I am sharing detailed information about the recent changes made by EPFO. Many rules and modes of operation have been modified and revised. So stay tuned, and before starting this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for regular compliance updates. Now let's understand about the new changes in the rule of EPF in the year 2024. And before starting, let's have a look about what is EPFO account. If we talk about the EPFO, then EPFO stands for Employee Provident Fund Organization. The Employee Fund Organization account is a retirement saving account that has been established by the Indian government specifically for the employees in India. And the EPFO is a statutory body under the Ministry of Labor and Employment, and it allows employees to save for the retirement and unforeseen events by contributing a portion of their salary to the fund. So this is the meaning of EPFO account. Moving forward to the contribution by the employee and employer into the EPFO account. So if we talk about the contribution, then it is a dual contribution system where employee and employer both contribute their amount to EPF account. So the employee need to contribute 12% of their basic salary, dearness allowance and retaining allowances, and 10% can also be contributed in some cases, whereas an employer need to contribute 12% of the employee's pay, with 8.33% going to the employee's pension scheme, or we can say EPS, and 3.67% will be going to EPF account. So like this, the contribution by both the employer and employee will be done in the EPFO account. Now let's look at the interest on EPF amount. So the interest will be compounded on the annually basis, and also a fixed interest rate at the rate of 8.25%, which is current rate of interest on EPF, will be provided to the employee, and this interest amount will be credited on the annually basis, and it will be considered as a tax-free interest income for the employee. But few tax implications will be there for the earlier withdrawal of the EPF amount, and also the interest will be provided at a higher rate than a saving bank account. So this is the criteria, or this is the calculation of interest on EPF amount. Now let's look at the withdrawal criteria from EPFO account. How the employee will be eligible, or how employee will be able to withdraw the EPF amount. There can be various type of EPF withdrawals, like a withdrawal can be done in case if there is an unemployment for the 1 month. If the employee is unemployed for 1 month, then they are eligible to withdraw 75% of the EPF amount. Whereas if they are unemployed for 2 or more months, then they are eligible to withdraw 100% amount of their EPF. Partial withdrawal can be done by the employees in cases like if any medical emergency is there, or if they are having any home loan, or they are constructing their house, education and marriage, or if they are going to buy any land or houses, then partial withdrawal of the EPF amount can be done. And the withdrawal in case of transfer between the jobs can be done. There are few conditions for EPF transfer, like the UAN number should be active and the new employer should be having the details of EPF account. So these are the type of EPF withdrawal from EPFO account. Now let's look at the new changes that has been made in the year 2024. So there are 5 major changes that has been done in the year 2024 related to EPF. First one is automatic transfer of PF account. Then is a facility of the auto settlement will be provided. Faster EPF claim settlement can be done, and also a new rule for EPF death claim has been made, and also there is no need to upload the check leaf image. So these are the 5 major changes that has been done or that has been made related to EPF in the year 2024. So let's start with automatic transfer of PF account. So the EPF balance can be transferred automatically. You don't need to file Form 31. Also we can say that this process will be done automatically, no need for the manual intervention. Then as a rule has been changed, or we can say the rule of the 1952 EPF scheme has been changed. Like the rule 68J says that if the amount is withdrawal related to medical claims in the specific instances, then the fund withdrawal limit was the employee was eligible to claim 6-month basic wage and the dearness allowance, or the employee share along with the interest, whichever is less. And in case if the withdrawal is related to marriage or higher education of children, then they were eligible to claim 50% of the employee's share. And in case if there is a rule 68B, then that is related to buying or constructing a house or land plot, then they were eligible to claim 100% of their funds, or they were eligible to withdraw 100% of funds. But the rule has been changed that they are eligible to claim a maximum amount of rupees 1 lakh, and that will be auto processed without any human intervention. So this is the change that is related to money withdrawal from EPF account. Then is a new rule has been made that is related to EPF death claim. Physical claims can be done without seeding Aadhaar. That may be permitted as a temporary measure, and in that case a approval of the OIC, that is on the job injury compensation, by an e-office is required. Now let's look at the challenges that were earlier faced by the EPF family members. The family members were unable to seed and authenticate in cases of death of EPF members, and the officers were unable to process the aforementioned physical claims, and there were unnecessary delay in the timely disbursement of the payments. So these were the challenges that was faced by the family members of the deceased person. Now the physical claims can be processed without seeding any Aadhaar, and this will be done on UAN based verification. UAN here stands for Universal Account Number, that will be provided to each and every EPF member. And also you don't need to have the check leaf image. There is no more requirement of the images of the check leaf attested bank passbook for certain eligible cases. And also the certain eligible cases based on certain validations can be like online verification of the bank KYC, that will be done by the concerned bank or NPCI, and the verification of bank KYC by the employer using DSC will be done, and seeded Aadhaar number verified by UIDI, among others. So these are the changes that are related to EPF account in the year 2024. I hope you have understood that the EPF scheme is vital part of the Indian social security system, providing employees with a dependable way to save for retirement. It offers financial security, tax benefits, insurance coverage, and easy access to funds during emergencies. This year, the government has made efforts to establish a more straightforward mechanism for managing the schemes. If you found this video helpful, let us know in the comment section. Also, you can comment if you have any doubts. Give a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Webtel Electrosoft. Next Tuesday, we will come up with another interesting video to make compliances better for you. Till then, stay safe and stay tuned with us for a better compliance journey.